Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video about the Gilman Scholarship. This is going to be part 3 for the Gilman Scholarship. I'm on the Gilman's website, which is gilmanscholarship.org, and I'm currently on the Resources tab on Videos. So today I wanted to help you by giving you some resources that can help you with the Gilman Scholarship. As you'll see from a few of these samples here, during the Gilman Scholarship process, the Gilman will host a couple of alumni ambassadors to do a Gilman Ask Me Anything question and answer series, where the alum who won the Gilman Scholarship and studied abroad talks about their experiences and answers any questions you may have. They've answered questions related to essays, follow-on service projects, anything like that. I highly recommend you attend some of these while you're working on the scholarship, and then of course you can go to their YouTube channel, linked here, and watch any of these Ask Me Anything videos. So this is their YouTube channel, the Gilman Scholarship Program, and their username on YouTube is @Gilman Scholarship. You can find some of their applicant webinars. This one's entirely just for the STEM Supplemental Award, so if you're interested in that, I'd suggest watching this. A Gilman Scholarship Program overview, health insurance overview, pre-departure overview. I'd highly recommend watching this video, the 2023 to 2024 Gilman Alumni Ambassador Application Q&A. So this video is entirely just questions related to the Gilman Scholarship application. And then they also have a lovely podcast you can listen to with questions. That might be helpful. So I highly suggest taking a look at that, and you can even find videos specific to your country and how to choose your country. I've watched some of these and gone back and forth through them, a walkthrough of the application. It's a great informative YouTube channel. Then we also have some webinars that they've done, such as supporting LGBTQI+ students going abroad for a second, third, or multiple time, how to adjust to going abroad, an alumni panel for careers in equity, diversity, and inclusion, working with rural institutions, small institutions. They also have an Instagram, which I suggest you follow as well. Let's see. So when you're studying abroad, overseas, you can use this resource here, Studying Overseas Academic Resources, to find academic advice, career pathways, pre-departure guides, safety and security, and student voices. So this will tell you the award notifications issued for the October, Gilman alumni among Fulbright recipients, another scholarship for the future, advice on traveling, awards for the 2022 deadline, all kinds of helpful information. So I highly recommend checking that out as well. And then one last time, I wanted to talk to you all about essays. So for your statement of purpose essay, this is really helpful. I put these questions in a Google document and then typed out my answers, printed them, wrote notes on it, and revisited my answers again, all before making my essay. So I'd recommend definitely answering these questions first before beginning your statement of purpose essay, editing your answers, creating an outline, and then making a rough draft. So for your statement of purpose, you want to focus on making a connection between your program and goals, making a connection between your country and your goals, sharing how you'll be academically successful on your program, giving examples of your experiences, skills, and knowledge that you will use to meet program challenges, and how this abroad experience will impact your future. These are put out by the Gilman's website. So basically they're saying this criteria will be looked for in your statement of purpose essay. So it is crucial that you answer these questions and have them in your essay. But you want to make sure that your essay flows naturally and it doesn't just sound like you're answering these questions. So think about formatting as well. Make sure it flows, reads like an essay. It doesn't read like a question and answer series. So that's all for this one. Next is the Building Mutual Understanding essay. So these are 3 questions. Ask yourself that again. Basically, hints are going to be looking for this in your essay. Do you articulate how you will represent the United States as a citizen diplomat while abroad? So a citizen diplomat was the hardest term for me to understand with my essays. It was hard to find information online on what a citizen diplomat could be, what a citizen diplomat does. So I think it's really important to make sure you're going to be culturally engaged and representing America as a citizen diplomat. You're not a diplomat going abroad, an official diplomat, but you're a citizen representing your country. What are you going to do to represent the U.S., such as hosting informational sessions, hosting a cultural night, representing the United States to your host family, giving a talk to local students at your abroad school? You have to make sure that you're giving back to the U.S. Since they have helped you with this scholarship, you want to make sure you're giving back as a citizen diplomat. If you have any more questions with that term, please do let me know, and feel free to leave a comment as well. Do you explain how you'll contribute to the goal of building mutual understanding? A great way for this question, what I talked about was going to the local community center and hosting events, hosting a cooking session in the dorm with local and international students. I've done a couple of interaction events at junior high schools working with Japanese students, sharing my culture, learning about their culture, assisting with English. And then I also worked a couple of campus events where I got to interact with Japanese high school students in both English and Japanese, represent the U.S., and share cultural information and all about the U.S., answer any questions they have. A lot are interested in studying abroad as well, so it's a great time to share your culture. Another great thing to do is present a little bit about your hometown, where you're from, what state you're from. Japanese students love to learn about the U.S., especially if they're interested in going abroad. Houses and homes are really different. Apartment life is way more common here than houses, where a lot of people have houses in the U.S. if you don't live in a really huge city. So I recommend sharing what your home looks like, especially if you have a front yard or a garden. It's really different here, and especially with so many apartments, not really having a front yard like we think of in America, the standard home. But at least for me, I have a little bit of a front yard, and my grandparents had a garden, a really small garden growing up. So it's great to show photos of your hometown, share a little bit of where you live, and I talked about some of the local dishes in my county and in my state. So for example, I'm from North Carolina, and one drink made in North Carolina is cheer wine. It's a soda unique to North Carolina, so I love to talk about it. And if you can bring a couple of things like that soda, unopened soda, for them to taste and try, that's also a great idea. Lastly, you want to discuss how you'll look for more opportunities to build meaningful relationships and become more culturally engaged. So for me, I've done quite a few volunteer events. I volunteered at the junior high schools. I volunteered working campus events, interacting with Japanese high school and junior high school students, and interacting with everyday common people in Hirakata, in the town that I'm in. A homestay is also a great way to build meaningful relationships and become culturally engaged. So if you're even the slightest bit interested in that, I would mention it in your essay as well. Lastly, we have the follow-on service proposal, which again can be anything you want it to be. For me, it's this YouTube channel, and then it's also doing a couple sessions to help students with the scholarship back on my university campus. I chose to do 2 mediums like this, but it's totally okay just to do one. So how does your follow-on service project increase awareness of the Gilman Scholarship and study abroad? Mine, again, is reaching this larger audience. On the internet, it can reach hundreds and thousands of people, whereas my school is really small, so I can't reach as many people. So it's great to have a medium like this, such as a blog, some type of social media site. You can make an Instagram account, whatever you like. For me, I really enjoy making YouTube videos. I've had to do it in some of my education classes, making teacher resources and lesson plans, uploading them onto YouTube. So this is a great experience to help me practice for one of my majors. So we really want to make sure you're able to show off the Gilman Scholarship, how it's helped you, and share it with others and reach a large audience. So try to think of something you can do that will reach an audience that's as large as possible. Some people have made a podcast. Some people do monthly Zoom meetings with students and a teacher to talk about their experiences, share photos. You can do that with the local school, or you can be assigned to a school, whatever you want. Another question, is your project feasible? If you give a super detailed plan, that sounds wonderful, but it doesn't really sound doable. Like maybe you're going to post 3 videos a week, you're going to write a blog, and when you get back, you're going to host in-person sessions at your school. I think the Gilman will think that you've overdone it and probably not select you because it's not reasonable. So for me, I just did 1 video a month for Gilman, 1 video a month for Freeman Asia. Very doable. So make sure you have a timeline. Make sure you specify how often you're going to do it. I made sure to specify how often I was going to do it, once a month, and what each video would be about. Do you give a detailed plan for your project? Kind of what I just talked about in that question. Sorry about that. But again, how often are you going to do it? How long are your videos going to be? What's the average word count of your blog going to be? How often are you going to do it? What are you going to talk about? What are you going to focus in month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. If you're doing a homestay, it's also really great to talk about that, to spread the word about homestay as well. Do you include your study abroad experience into your project? This is a must. You definitely should include your personal experiences in your project. So for me, I talk about the scholarships themselves for my first 3 videos. Then after that, I just talk about studying abroad. I'm just talking about studying abroad. So homestay, dorm life, classes, campus. I've already done that with 1 video, but I'll have some more coming soon. So make sure you make it personal. They want to see what you're doing. They want you to make it fun and entice others to study abroad. Then lastly, do you have an intended audience? Who will you collaborate with to reach this community? So my intended audience was other low-income, underrepresented students like myself all across the U.S. in college. And then I collaborated with my study abroad department with 2 staff members there, and I coordinated with some people over orientation to host those programs either during orientation or right after, to get the word out and get students thinking about studying abroad as soon as possible. So this video is just a small recap of kind of everything we've talked about. Again, make sure to check for proper spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Be creative. Visit your writing center on campus. I also talked to quite a few professors and let my professors review my essay. Work with your advisors, study abroad advisors, academic advisors, anyone, and have your essay proofread. Also, my roommate in my college back home is a creative writing major, so I also asked her to read over my essays. So don't feel shy about asking as many people as possible. Ask your old high school teachers. I did some of that as well. I wanted to make sure that my essays were as strong as possible to make this a realistic possibility for me, because studying abroad was a dream. And if you can convey that dream through your essays, show that it's beneficial to your education and future career, show how you're going to help the U.S. when you get back with it. So for me, like implementing that new curriculum, representing the U.S. abroad, tie it all into this big circle together, you're set. So again, just make sure it's not like a vacation. You really tie in future goals, educational goals, representing the U.S., and if you can, some way that this study abroad will benefit your school, benefit you, benefit something in the U.S., new curriculum, new classes, anything you like. If you have any more questions, I highly recommend watching my 2 other videos or leaving a comment below. And I also recommend visiting gilmanscholarship.org on their website. Going through the program tabs, you can learn all about the scholarship, Gilman McCain Scholarship if you are a military dependent, if your family's been in the military, anything like that. Critical Need Language Award if you're studying one of the critical need languages. Just really quick, we'll take a look over that. By the way, Japanese is one. So here's a quick list of the critical need languages as of August 14th, 2023. Feel free to take a screenshot and make a note. If yours is on there, definitely apply. You can also use the Critical Need Language Award to study a foreign sign language. Fun fact, if you're interested in a foreign sign language, Please do apply for the target language, for instance, Japanese, and explain it in your application that you'll be studying, reading, writing, speaking, and/or completing in some form Japanese sign language during your program. Hebrew is also offered through the generous support of our partners at the Embassy of Israel to the United States. So take a look at that. Make sure you do the Critical Need Language Award essay. It can give you up to $3,000 more. So this is super helpful. And again, tie that into how it can be beneficial for the United States. It's a critical need because in some way the U.S. needs it, needs more people who have studied it, mastered, and learned that language, and you could be one of them. Then we have the STEM Supplemental Award information, Program Impact, all the partners they have worldwide, U.S. Foreign Policy Seminars, Foreign Policy in Focus, Top Gilman 2023, and Top Gilman 20 Years, a whole tab just for applicants with an application overview, eligibility, essays, criteria, tips, deadline, advisor directly, and FAQs, news and events, resources, and other scholarships. Do take a look at that other scholarships tab. There are new podcasts as well. Recipients, what to do if you receive the award. You can start dreaming, take a look through all of that, see what you need to do to complete it. It'll be good if you do get accepted to study abroad as well. You will need some of these things even if you don't get the scholarship. There's some helpful packing tips and things like that as well. An alumni tab, so if you want to reach out to alumni, this can be helpful. And advisor tab if you have any questions for your Gilman advisors or advisors in the program. There's also this lovely Contact Us page. If you're stuck, you don't know what to do, you have questions that you feel like I can't answer, their email for applicants. If you are an applicant with any questions is gilman@iie.org. If you'd like to call them, their phone number is 800-852-2141, extension 1. If you have questions about where you're studying abroad, feel free to use one of these emails. Middle East or Africa, you'll contact Gilman Africa, MENA@iie.org. Latin America, the Caribbean, and North America, Gilman WH@iie.org. East Asia and the Pacific, Gilman Asia Pacific @iie.org. Europe, put the country in the subject line, Gilman Europe @iie.org. And South and Central Asia at Gilman SC Asia @iie.org. If you need to contact an advisor or you don't know where to go, you can email gilmanadvisors@iie.org or call 800-852-2141, extension 2. And if you have questions about alumni, this is mainly for if you're an alumni, so if you've studied abroad, received it, and finished everything. Or I think a great way is to reach out to this email and see if you can contact alumni of Gilman recipients who have studied abroad in the country you're going to and chat one-on-one with them. That would be gilmanscholars@iie.org or 800-852-2141, extension 4. I hope this video series was helpful. If there's anything else you'd like to see, I'm happy to make more videos about the scholarship itself. Good luck with your application. Keep the deadlines in mind, and you got this. It's not as hard as you think it is. Just be positive, revise, edit, revise, and get some eyes on your essays. You can do it, and if it's your dream to study abroad, all you have to do is convey it in your essays, and you'll be golden. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in more videos soon. Bye-bye.